Hi, I'm Mads, and I am just so done. I'm done with life. I'm done with all this pressure that I put on myself because of how we grew up and all these expectations of everyone else around us, and like this constant need to be okay, and none of us ever feel okay. I'm done with it. I'm sick to death of pretending. I constantly look like I'm fine. I don't know. I've been in this momentum of always being fine for so long that I don't even know anymore. It feels like I'm like this robot that's emotionless because I've had so much emotion my whole life. You know, my mom always told me I was so empathetic. And I've always been so empathetic. Like, I've just felt everything around me, and it's exhausting. It's been so exhausting. And I'm just sick to death of it because all that my external reality has ever showed me is that everyone wants more all the time. And when I finally get to a place of choosing me and everything is like in alignment with where I wanted to be in life and it's my dream is finally happening, and then it's like, oh, but we're going to take that away too. Because no, if you want this thing, no, you can't have that. Like, you gotta felt this way. And I had to face this reality, and this probably one of the hardest decisions in my life, which, funny enough, I've been through so many difficult decisions and experiences that it's like, I guess I've just been totally desensitized by it at this point, where it's just like, girl, I am ready to get off this roller coaster. Please. I've vomited 5 times. There's so many loop-de-loops. I've Superman down this damn thing and I am done. Like, please get me off. I am ready for some bumper cars, like just some little boom, boom. Oh, ha ha ha, laughing fun. It's like, oh, that was a bit of a challenge, but I'll just drive the other way. Rather than just this like crazy lethal weapon. It feels like the roller coaster from Final Destination 3. You're just like, I just got to this point. My reticular activation system was just like in so much hyperdrive for so long that now when I face challenges or heartbreak, I just go, like, really? Like, I'll have my massive panic attack and outburst in the moment. Don't get me wrong. But after that, it's just like this, like, I'm good. I'm moving on. And then I'm now like, what's it called? Like crucified. I'm now like crucified by people for having that approach. And then I get, really frustrated now. It used to be sad because I'd be like, guys, I've been through so much. Like, I thought you knew this about me, that this isn't that much comparatively. And now it's just frustration because it's like, okay, well, you obviously can't get the perspective around my life, and that's not you. That's just that you haven't had the perspective from my experience. And I've had this really healthy growth and healthy understanding around all this because of all the challenges in my life. And now I always take the approach of, well, what's in this for me? What can I learn from this situation? What wasn't aligned? What wasn't, feeling great in my system? And you look for all those like positives. That's all you can do. Because life just keeps going, guys. It just keeps going. You realize that, and a lot of people talk about it more so when you face significant grief. And it's like this Band-Aid just gets ripped off your face, man. And you're like, oh, no one cares. And that realization comes out of the deepest, darkest places of you, where that's when you turn to like, why am I here? Humanity sucks. I just want it to be over already. Or, okay, I'm here. Humanity sucks. I'm just going to keep going. You know, there's like these forks in the road throughout our whole life. And no matter what you face, there's always a fork in the road. It might be like a crossroads or whatever. You get the gist. There's like directions of options. And we are not short of options. That is not the modern day issue. The modern day issue is so many options. It's like, oh my God, what do we even do with all of this? Like, I can do this and this and this, but we always feel cornered into like this box because it's what everyone else tells us we should be doing, you know? So even right now, I am facing like a massive heartbreak. I had to make the decision to choose myself and my kids and where I want to be in life over my fiance. You know, not a little thing. This is not a little thing. And yeah, it's only been like a week and my emotions just shut down out of my neural pathways from all these experiences where I'm just like, you don't need more bad things. I have this like constant voice in my head. You don't need any more bad things. And everything in my being is constantly telling me, just stop experiencing stuff. Just retract. But there's this like passion and drive in my heart that's like, no, bitch, we're going to keep freaking going because there is more to experience out here. And this is just one thing. There's just there's a little blip on your roller coaster of like a little, like some turbulence on a plane or something. And we're just going to keep going. But socially, you know, leaving your fiance doesn't sound like a small thing. It's not at the same time. And I'm so sick of it. So then everyone comes in to support you. And I am at no lack of support in my life. I love my family and my friends and everyone supports me. And everyone means well. Everyone does it from this place of like wanting to be there for you. But you know, it comes up all the time and these people like plant doubts in your head. Like, are you sure you want to do this? Are you sure this is the right thing? Are you sure you want me to like initiate these things? Are you sure you want me to cancel the wedding and the hens and all these things? And it's like, girl, yes. If I am having this much like problems, even aside from just the decision, if there are this many problems leading up to a wedding, would you really be going through with it? I feel like the cold feet are like frostbite by this point. Regardless. So at the very least, yes, leave me be. I've asked you to do it once. Move on. You know, that's not hard. Aside from that, you know, the other point of it is people just trying to, you know, encourage you, but it's like, it's more like supporting their own knowledge of what you're going through because they're like, oh my God, what's your plan? What are you going to do? Like, your entire life was revolving around this person. It's like, I'm 31. I haven't known him my whole life. I have 2 kids and they're not his. And, you know, he's this amazing person. There's nothing wrong with him as a person. He's an amazing person. He was trying to take responsibility for us as a family. And it really got to his mental health. He hadn't addressed all those inner demons within him. And it showed. And he panicked and he got to that point where he couldn't handle it anymore. He couldn't handle going forward anymore. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with that, guys. There is nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying anything bad about him. He's a beautiful person. But what I'm saying is that everyone reaches those pinnacles in life and we choose our paths. And I chose my path, he chose his path, and it wasn't aligned. Bottom line. You know, and then, but the panic really sets in when the support comes in and the people come in and all this pressure. It's like, oh my gosh, you know, you know these questions. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. I started a podcast. That's what I did. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go and I'm going to sit here and just like, bleh, just blah about everything. Just blah, blah. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to freak out. And I can't. I have 2 little humans that rely on me. I got to be grounded. I got to be stable. I got to make sure they thrive, man. I've got to be thriving so that they can thrive. So yeah, I'm going to eliminate the thing that's going to lessen that thrive and move forward. And yeah, I know, girl, this sounds so harsh. I know my entire reality always has been like from this place of brutal honesty. And I've been my own harshest critic. I know we each individually, all of us are. all our own harshest critic. And it really took this advice from my best friend a long time ago when I was going through all my depression. I was leaving an abusive relationship, and she was like, you need to speak to your mind like a best friend. You don't let your best friend walk all over you, do you? You give them boundaries, you give them healthy things, and you tell them to, I can't say that on YouTube. You tell them to go away when they're too much, because you need space and you need time and you want them to be quiet. You tell them, shh, your face. Shush. Anyway, and I would never say that to my support system because I love them and they are outside of myself, but that's how I treat myself because I know I can handle that. And when I know that people outside of myself can handle that, yeah, you're going to talk to them as such, but it's all about that boundaries and reading the room and knowing the other person that you're interacting with as much as you know yourself. Getting to know each other. Anyway, I'm going a little bit off topic because I was having my rant about this like backwards support that people try to do because they don't see that it's actually from a place of like their own desire to understand. And I get that. I can like feed into it as much as I can. They want to understand what I'm going to do, but what I'm doing right now, and when you tell them this, I am giving myself space to just feel. And that is the most important thing that none of us do in modern life. And the spiritual world and psychological world all keep coming in, trying to tell us in different ways. And they really attribute it to time. And time is part of it, absolutely, because time is the linear measurement of this reality. But I say space because it's the space in my mind to let it go off topic. I don't want to focus on something that's really difficult. But when it comes up, and even right now, I was just sitting there and I was like having this little meditation moment, like, I'm just so done. And it was like, go share it. Go share your doneness with everyone. Because I'm done with most things. I'm done with a lot of things in the world. But this is my reality right now. And I'm giving myself the space to know that that's my reality right now. To feel those feelings as they arise and not to judge them at all. I'm not judging myself by labeling things as harsh or, critiquing it and pulling it all apart. And I am. It's in here, But this is my learning curve now. It's like ripping off the Band-Aid, essentially, to just know it sucks. And it's not what I thought it was going to be, but it's also taking a step back, again, giving yourself the space and knowing that my idea of who he wasn't who he was capable of being. And that's where a lot of these, forks in the road, these decisions and taking different paths, and I call them catalysts, which is like an argument or a breaking point or whatever you want to call it. And you sort of go, well, which fork in the road do I want to take? Which direction do I want to take? And when they choose the path that doesn't align with what you're upset about or arguing about or, discussing, you can discuss it and communicate if, healthily as well. And I tried all those avenues and it kept going. He kept deviating from the path. So we were getting further and further and further and further. So what I thought, by pushing through these issues and ignoring them and hoping he would come to me and hoping he would work on these things with communication and reaching out to him as much as possible and reaching out with all these positive ideas that could help the situation, they don't, because it's not my life. As much as when you are in a relationship with that label, it's just a label. When you're in a relationship with that person, you think you're going to be like this connected team, But my experience, which I'm also so done with, is just you're not really. You're two individuals that when it aligns is perfect and you go on this journey. And at one point or another, you know, the people I've been with have aligned and we went on that journey and you got the results that you were meant to get out of that journey. And when you look at it from that place of like, what can I learn from this? What can I grow from this? That's healthy. You know, that's a healthy mindset. Rather than having like this positive mindset connotation, like what I found in my life, especially when I was really, really suffering with depression, was that the positive stuff really doesn't help. It was very much like you nearly like feel guilty because you're not being positive. Like it was very ingrained in me when I was little that there are people in the world, and I still believe this, I know this very, very much. There are people in the world that are worse off than me. Absolutely. But what that did from knowing that forever was invalidate all my feelings. It was like, well, why am I feeling so bad when I know that there's worse than this? But what it is coming back into psychology and like Carl Jung's perspective is that I'm the observer of this reality and I can never experience what that person is going through. Regardless of what the differences in circumstances are, I can understand as much as I can. But I can only experience what I can experience in my feelings. And being empathetic, I've felt a lot of things from other people. And because I could do that with other people, a lot of the questions was, why can't they feel it with me? You know, I've clinically suffered from RBF my whole life. And when I talk, I'm really quite animated, but you know, in the general existence of my being is like, and oh my gosh, people telling me to smile more or like, what's wrong? Like I was literally just told from existing in my house by my dad that I was grumpy all the time. I was never grumpy. And I hated that he treated me as such. I was fine. I was happy. I could be happy and still have that resting bitch face. It's really, they're irrelevant. And anyone that suffers from RBF absolutely knows what I'm talking about. But what that does is like this protective facade where you're feeling everything. People aren't feeling things from you. And they are seeing like this blankness and they're like, they assume you're just really detached and emotionless and honestly a bitch. And I'm over here feeling everything like, why? I just want to be loved. I just want someone to look after me. Please. You know, it's like your little inner child is like... Anyway, this is going to be my podcast. I'm not going to lie. I'm probably going to just base it around things that I'm over for a while. See where it takes me. Because I'm being very, very called to, you know, share my unhingedness with the world. And you look at YouTubers and like social media, TikTok people now, and it's like, oh my God. Okay, well, apparently there's a platform for being unhinged now. Hell yeah. It's my time. I was hated in primary school. High school was terrible. But hey, I got plenty of stories now. So, I'll see you around, hopefully in the next video. And I'm just going to take it as it comes. I love you. I wish you an amazing day and all the empowerment in the entire world to just be yourself and be content with being done. All right. Bye.